Hi, I'm Mike, owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I'm doing the new arrival video for October 18th, 2024. This is kind of the first week where I've kind of thought to myself, damn, where'd the hell this year go? Kind of been going by pretty fast. A few pre-orders to tell you guys about this week. Not a lot, but as you can see, I have a large assemblage of new arrivals to show you guys. So let's get through the pre-orders briskly. A few from Analogue Productions. We've got the Ray Brown Trio Solar Energy that is coming out November 24th. That is a title that they have had in print in the past, but like a couple of titles you'll see today, they're bringing stuff back from their older catalog, as well as Humble Pie. They're doing Smokin'. That is coming out November 2024. This is a title they've done in the past. Really fantastic sounding pressing. I think Kevin Gray did it back in the day as well. This is a title that has not been in their catalog in a very long time, as opposed to Solar Energy, a couple years back, I think we still had it. New title, Shelly Manne, Jack Marshall, Sounds Unheard Of. That comes out November 2024 as well. All three Analogue Productions titles. We've got two new Impex titles as well. We've got Al Di Meola's Elephant Gypsy, November 1st. And we've got Dan Fogelberg's Souvenirs. That's coming out, like they just slated it as winter 2024. So towards the end of the year, 50th anniversary edition. Love Impex, not a huge Dan Fogelberg fan. We'll see what that sounds like. The Al Di Meola, that's probably going to be pretty good. Last one is kind of a title I'm not nuts about, but then I kind of looked at it and I'm like, oh, this could be really good news. And that is Bob Dylan, the self-titled Mobile Fidelity. They're doing the self-titled album, which is, I think, the weakest album in his entire catalog. Mostly covers, but they're doing it at 33 RPM on super vinyl. It originally came out at 45 RPM, but it seems like with the higher price super vinyl formulation, it's 60 bucks, but labels seem to be kind of okay green-lighting their titles to be done at super vinyl because it doesn't conflict with their cheaper versions. Kind of the reason they never minded them doing 45 RPMs because it was two separate products. So at 60 bucks, they're far enough away in price to where they don't seem to be caring about competition, but also we're still able to do it at 33. I kind of like that idea. I like, if I have to pay a little more, I get it. At least it's on super vinyl. Highest grade vinyl formulation on the market today in 2024. So for me, it's a good trade-off. But like I said, it's a good and a bad thing because I'm not a big fan of that album. But if that's the case, maybe we'll see the rest of the Bob Dylan catalog coming out on 33 RPM. That would be pretty fantastic. They did a few. They did Blood on the Tracks, for instance, at 33. They also did it as a one-step. But most of the catalog that they did, you know, it's 10 years ago now. It's been a while. A lot of them went out. Some of them came back. But a lot of that catalog was done at 45 RPM. Let's get right into this week's new arrivals. And I'm going to start with a mess of new SACDs we got in. Big Analogue Productions restock. And a lot of these titles we're getting for the first time as well in here. We've got Stone Temple Pilots Core, SACD, Matchbox 20 SACD, Yourself and Someone Like You, Hootie and the Blowfish, cracked rear view. I always want to say mirror. SACD. Foreigner, self-titled. John Coltrane's Giant Steps. The wonderful sounds of Quality Records pressings. Fantastic, the old Thorn sampler. Steely Dan's Gaucho. This is a restock, and we also got a restock of Asia. These things have been just absolutely blowing off the shelves. Let me show you guys, to get it out of the way, mainly the box sets that came in this week. Most of these are just restocks, but we got Roger Waters' Amused to Death. Absolutely phenomenal sounding record. One of my demo records. Top 5 for me. Sound on it is impeccable. The 45 RPM of Belafonte at Carnegie Hall on 5 discs. Been a audiophile demo disc for 40 years. I Love Supreme, John Coltrane, UHQR. Got a, this is not a restock, but this is a sale item. Check our sales section out on the website. We put a ton of stuff on there. I want to say we did this thing for like 75, 85 bucks in that range. We're blowing these out of here. I got way too many of them, like everything that's on that sale page. If it's on the sale page, that means I've got too many of them. I ordered incorrectly the first time around, and they're taking up space. So I'm losing a boat ton on these, but it is time for them to go to make room for other items. UHQR of Steely Dan's Pretzel Logic. And last UHQR restock, Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? Okay, this is the first non-coherent record that I ever decided to distribute. I told you guys a story on this multiple times, but people kept coming into me and saying, hey, I ran into this musician in LA. It's a fantastic record. He was playing it for me. You really should, you need somebody to distribute it. You should look into this, Mike. It's fantastic. And I'm like, yeah. Blew it off. Finally, Kevin Gray called me, who did the mastering on this. And he's like, Mike, this record's fantastic. You got to listen to this. I'm like, all right, let me listen to it. Listen to it. Absolutely blown away. Straight 1950s bop. It is a smoker. Great record. Jacob Went, Silver Street. Long story short, I listened to it. I called him up, talked to him about the record, talked to him about his vision of the record, what it was going to look like. He sent me over proofs, but here it is. Look at this, top quality all around. Let's open it up and I'll show you. Look at the cover on this. Look how beautiful this is. Look at what a fantastic tribute. Like zoom in, look how beautiful that high gloss jacket is. Beautiful stout and tip-on jacket with kind of the picture frame effect of like a 1950s Blue Note. Prested RTI. This record absolutely smokes. I highly recommend it. I never, ever would have picked it up if it wasn't fantastic. I'm telling you, I just don't need any more projects here at the In Groove. I'm tapped out. But when I heard this, and I'm like, this is fantastic. I'm down. I got to give that a go. I'll do it. And there it is, Silver Street. Highly recommended. Yeah, comes out this week, like everything in this video. From Rocktober, we've got the Velvet Underground's Loaded. Try to make some space. Also Rocktober, we've got the Ramones, Animal Boy. I think for me, I love the Ramones, but this is their last great album. Somebody Put Something in My Drink. Fantastic track. Pleasant Dreams. I believe these are all mastered the same as the box set that came out for Record Store Day a year or two ago. It's kind of, these are breakouts from the box set. Ramones' Subterranean Jungle. Ooh, forgot about these. I think we're still waiting on one, but maybe it came today. I didn't, because I've been looking. There's an Art Blakey Blue Note Classic that comes out as well this week. It's a Night in Tunisia. I don't know if we got it yet. I think we only got the Donald Byrd Royal Flush. All analog, cut from the original master tape by Kevin Gray. What can I say? They're killer. I'm so glad that this series exists. You're getting like super top flight, budget audiophile records. And a lot of these are the best these records have ever sounded. Love this label. This is kind of a surprise release. I didn't even know this was coming out until last week. The Jerry Mulligan Quartet. This is from Newland. Spring in Stockholm. Live at the Concerthurst, 1959. This is mastered and cut, all analog, from the original master tapes by Kevin Gray. He does most of these Newland titles, and they are fantastic, and they typically sell out. And it seems like a lot of these get discontinued in relatively short fashion. They're not, Newland is, to import, these have never been in abundant supply. I've had difficult times getting restocks on some of them, and then they go away. This is really cool. I told you guys about my love for Pinot about 2 or 3 weeks ago in a video that I shot at my house, kind of what's coming into my collection. This is, I saw this and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I got on my phone, because this is in Italian. So I had to get out my phone translation to kind of figure out what this is, because other than Je t'adore, I love, I really have no idea what any of this says. But according to my phone translation, It looks like this is kind of like a live performance from Pino in 2024. Pino, absolutely fantastic, almost spoken word disco. I can't, this is so good. I don't know about this, I'm gonna give it a listen to, but look at him. Pino looks like he's maybe about 85 years old there with a microphone. Looks like he's on the bow of a ship. I really don't know what's going on with this record, but his stuff is so fantastic that we're giving that a try. There's no doubt about it. All right, for Christmas, Ella wishes you a swingin' Christmas. This is the deluxe edition of the 1960 classic album. This has a second LP featuring singles, duets, and alternate takes. All of Ella's holiday recordings for Verve and Decca. This is an absolutely fantastic record. There's also one of these that's all analog cut from the master tapes, part of the Acoustic Sound series. That's fantastic as well. Single disc though, you know, the regular album. That's got the bonus disc. The limited Black Ice Galaxy vinyl version of the Sisters of Mercy's Floodland. We've got, from Analogue Productions, The Gifted Ones, Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, Ray Brown, and Mickey Rourke. I almost said poker. Okay. Diana Krall's All For You, a dedication to Nat King Cole. 2 LP set, part of the Acoustic Sounds Verve series stuff. These are fantastic. The series is, I haven't listened to that. I'm not a huge female vocal fan, but that series has been fantastic. I had an original one of these a while back, and boy, does this go for some ducats. Very in-demand record. We've got Celia Cruz and Johnny Pacheco? Celia and Johnny. Part of this continuing, you know, the continuing Celsius stuff that Kraft is putting out, all analog, cut from the original master tapes by Kevin Gray. I'm sure this sounds significantly better than the version I had in, which was the original, but very noisy pressing. Lady Gaga's Harlequin. This is on red vinyl. This record is absolutely horrible. I mean, for me, personally. I listened to this and I had a very difficult time getting through it. I actually like Lady Gaga, but I had a very difficult time getting through this. It's like Lady Gaga's doing like standards, kind of like Rod Stewart was doing that Great American Songbook. There's like her doing a lot of like standards and like carnival music on this. And I guess you could say, well, it goes with the movie, which I haven't seen. I don't really care for musicals either. But yeah, this was not for me. And like I said, I like Lady Gaga. I've got her records, all of them up till this, which, yeah. And then she closes it off with Frank Sinatra's That's Life. Whew. Hard pass. But if you like it, I mean, you know, I'm not criticizing your choices. You might like this. Here it is for you. Motley Crue's greatest hits, 19 of the Crue's chart-topping singles on 2 LPs. Not for me, the Lady Gaga, I'll tell you. The Offspring, Supercharged. This looks like the standard vinyl version of their new album on Concord, and this is the blue vinyl version. Blue Marble. Let's see. Juan Alameda from Mr. Bongo. Everything Mr. Bongo does is typically fantastic. I love the label. They do just great international funk and jazz, and their stuff they put out typically are records that are impossible to get. If you can get them, they're thousands of dollars. Great label. I'll give that a listen to as well. Rick Wakeman's Yes Sonata. It's a Yes Sonata from Rick Wakeman on Cherry Red Records. Okay. The Last Dinner Party, Prelude to Ecstasy. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Long After Dark. Actually, this is kind of cool because it is, I thought this was on glow-in-the-dark vinyl. I guess not. It's on turquoise colored vinyl. I thought it'd be kind of a cool long after dark on glow-in-the-dark vinyl, but I guess not. So it's turquoise. From Tribe Records, of course, this is put out by ORG, which is a great label as well. But we've got Tribe 2000. This is Phil Ranelin and Wendell Harrison, two absolutely fantastic avant-garde jazz musicians. A lot of Phil Ranelin's stuff tended to be more like on the funk side. Buku bucks for the originals. This, founders of Tribe Records reunited. Yeah, look at that. Reunited with the nucleus of the Detroit Jazz Collective. This is probably going to be fantastic. If you're into the avant-garde stuff, that's probably a no-brainer. The Special, self-titled on crystal clear vinyl. So yeah, I'll probably pick that up. The Pinot, probably the Mr. Bongo title. Pass on the Lady Gaga. Okay, Doja Cat, Scarlet 2. I will pass on the Doja Cat. So what am I up to? 3 albums. Blue Note Classics, I'll pick those up. 4, 5. Okay, we're chugging along. Oh, I'll probably pick up the Celia too. I like salsa. This is a big week for me. The Waterboys, Fisherman's Blues. Let's see. Roselia, Motomami. That was nice of her to censor herself for me so I didn't have to get out the blue tape for YouTube. Daddy Yanko. Daddy Yankee. Barrio Fino. On the El Cartel Records. Mariah Carey's Rainbow. But what's kind of cool about this, at first I thought it was vinyl, but it's not. They're on rainbow picture discs. I definitely don't want to forget to show you guys the back of Mariah Carey's Rainbow record. Because I like to always show the front and the back, so you guys know what you're buying, you know what I mean? Okay, up next, Tink, Winter's Diary, number 5. God, you think she's cold? Lucky, SXM Nay Drugs. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. I'm sure it's probably something inappropriate. I'm not 100% sure, but probably not YouTube friendly, I can tell you that. YouTube is not going to dig whatever that's supposed to be. Japan Droids, Fate and Alcohol. This is the indie vinyl exclusive on an 8-page booklet with poster. We've got Harry Nilsson sings Newman. From Music on Vinyl, we've got Chocolate Milk, limited to 500 copies on chocolate milk colored vinyl. So brown. What number is this? Oh, they're not numbered. They're just a limited edition of 500 copies. Kylie Minogue, Tension number 2 on crystal clear vinyl. Well, Kylie Minogue is still looking pretty damn young there, I'll tell you what. Looks like she hasn't aged that much. And this is the yellow vinyl variant. Of course, I don't know about the, the touch-ups that were involved there, but yeah. This is the Jazz Daredevil. This is the original motion picture soundtrack on Sub Pop, the motion picture soundtrack of the unproduced Jazz Daredevil. It's on Sub Pop, so I feel like this is not going to be anything even remotely jazzy, but it might still be worth a listen. I might try to stream that first. It's probably going to be pretty good. Aaron Parks, Little Big 3 on Blue Note. This is V from BTS. He's one of the artists in BTS. I don't know if he's the B, the T, or the S, being that he's the V, but yeah. Here it is. Oh, look, there's a little V there. Huh? Ooh, from Abbey Road Studios, half-speed mastered versions of the Iron Man, music from Pete Townsend. Nice. And I don't think this has ever been on vinyl before. This is Psychoderelic. This is the music only. I'll probably get this too. What is that, 6? Probably Iron Man as well. 7? Oh my God. The Kinks, Sleepwalker. Reissue of the classic 1977 album, remastered from the original quarter-inch production masters on 180-gram black vinyl. Kevin Gray has done most of these Kinks reissues, and he might have been the one that did that. Have to check that out. Jerry Cantrell's I Want Blood on red vinyl. Oh, just in time for Halloween. Another one of the Kraft Salsa Latin records. This is originally on Inca. All analog, cut from the original master tapes. Oh, not by Kevin Gray. This is by Clint Holly at Well Made Music. So far, most of these have been, yeah, the Salsa Gem led by Papo Enrique Lucia. I might listen to this as well. Okay, and now we're going to get into, I think there might be some new arrivals in here, but let's get into the Analogue Productions restocks. Starting with a title I haven't had in a while, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway from Genesis, 4LP, kind of like a binder. Again, speaking of one of my all-time favorite records, a demo record for me, Roger Waters' Amused to Death. This is the 33 RPM. At the beginning of the video, that was the 45 RPM. We've got Jethro Tull, Stand Up. Absolutely dynamite version on my top 100 imprint analog records you should own list. We've got Lynyrd Skynyrd's, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is the 33 RPM version of Lynyrd Skynyrd's Second Helping. We've got the 45 RPM version of Gimme Back My Bullets, Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is a pretty smoking restock. This is like all the good stuff here. Dean Martin's Dream with Dean, an absolute dynamite Dean Martin record. Not your typical Dean Martin. He's backed by a proper jazz band here. Barney Kessel, Red Mitchell. Great record. Willie Nelson's Stardust at 45 RPM. We've got Sarah McLaughlin's Mirrorball. You can go onto the website, shop by label, and you can actually sort these all out and see all the Analog Productions titles, and you can actually select the button to see everything only in stock. Elvis Presley with the Jordanaires, 1957. The 45 RPM of Joe Walsh, The Smoker You Drink, The Player You Get. Another absolutely fantastic title, Dave Brubeck's Time Out. These two titles have not been in print in a while and are absolutely fantastic. Satchmo plays King Oliver, Louis Armstrong. If you walk through a hi-fi show, you will not stop hearing St. James Infirmary in every room. This is like one of the old school audiophile demo discs. Most people, though, are actually going to be playing this one at those hi-fi shows. This is the 45 RPM version of it. So it's a single. You got St. James Infirmary on side 1 and I Ain't Got Nobody on side 2. But absolutely fantastic sounding. Most people would want just the album, but if you want like the ultimate demo track, get that 45 RPM. From the Prestige series, we've got Steamin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. Thelonious Monk, Mysterioso, cut by Kevin Gray. We got Thelonious Monk at the Black Hawk. I think this is also cut by Kevin Gray. The whole box was. Actually, all these Prestiges were as well. We've got Oliver Nelson, Screamin' the Blues. 45 RPM of the Oscar Peterson Trio, We Get Requests. 5x5 by Monk. one of the greatest prestige titles of all time. We've got the Sonny Rollins Quartet Saxophone Colossus. Probably the best, but I actually prefer Sonny Rollins' Way Out West, my favorite Sonny Rollins title, but of course that's on contemporary, but that might be my favorite. Probably is my favorite prestige title though. Hank Mobley, Mobley's Message. This is up there though with it. The Blues of Lightning Hopkins. And then we've got Lightning Hopkins Going Away. Another just absolutely phenomenal demo disc. You think it's Ernie Ford, Tennessee Ernie Ford, that's schmaltzy, I don't want it, you pass it off. When you hear this, you'll want to buy it. Tennessee Ernie Ford's Country Hits, Feeling Blue. It's amazing that anybody's voice could even sound like this recorded. I mean, it's wicked. He has such an eerie, kind of spooky, intimate sound on that record. It's mind-boggling. This is probably the first record that if you come into my sound room and you want to listen to gear, I typically reach for this first. This is the first disc because I can just pretty much say, hey, what do you want to listen to? You want some soul, you want to listen to some jazz, you want to listen to some female vocal, you want to listen to some classical, and they tell me, and then I'm like, all right, and then I pull this out because it has everything on it. Absolute fantastic sampler disc, and this is all analog. Well, I think it was all analog. There might have been a track or two that were cut from digital, but this is originally the Thorn sampler. But most of, if not everything on this, I believe, I'm trying to look, you know, most of the jazz, the R&B stuff, fantastic sampler. Highly recommend it. Everything that they've done on this Wonderful Sounds series have been fantastic, and unfortunately, they're all out of print now except for that one. I wish some of them would get a repress, but that's where we're at. Lady in Satin, Billie Holiday. This is the 45 RPM version. Julie Is Her Name, Julie London. Helen Merrill, fantastic title. 33 RPM. The Sound of Jazz, Count Basie. Everybody's on this stuff. Count Basie, Billie Holiday, Jimmy Giuffre Trio, Mal Waldron. Great record. This is from my top 100 imprint analog records you should own list. Muddy Waters Folk Singer. Ooh, Rufus Reid presents Caitlin Cardello. This was fantastic. Two-piece bass, piano. Fantastically well done. Produced by Michael Fremer. Faust. Fantastic. One of the absolute best Mercury Living stereo titles. From Reference Recordings, we've got the Arnold Overtures. Probably the most popular title, actually, to ever come out on Reference Recordings. One of my favorite classical records of all time. The music is so accessible. Scheherazades. Franz Reiner. We've got the 33 and the 45. Both versions. If you want the ultimate demo, go with the 45. Ravel. And Chopin's Concerto No. 1, Rubinstein. And that is it, actually, for this week's very long new arrival. Had an absolute ton of new arrivals and restocks. You can get all this stuff online at our website at theingroove.com. Until next time.